Hi, I'm Greg Hunter. Happy Valentine's Day. It's February 14th, 2014. Well, the top story, another week, another Obamacare delay. And, the headline of the USA Today, healthcare law faces new delay. Just a new delay. It's a new unconstitutional delay. That's what this is. This is a law that we had to hurry up and pass so we can keep delaying most of it indefinitely. Because the consequences of this terrible law on the economy, the American public, how much they're going to pay, is just catastrophic. And really catastrophic for the Democratic Party. I mean, the exemption this time, or not exemption, I should say the delay, focuses on companies with more than 50 and less than 100 employees. Now, most of these companies already give health care. This is to phase in the requirements of Obamacare. Requirements like free abortions, free birth control pills, and all kinds of free stuff. And this free stuff has to be paid. And you know how it'll be paid. It'll be higher premiums, much higher premiums. That's a pay cut in my book. Higher deductibles and higher co-pays. And listen, you still have to keep in mind that you are going to be taxed on the employer contribution part of your health care. Let's say that, your employer contributes $5,000 a year to paying your medical benefits. That's going to be taxed. You don't get the $5,000. That's going to be taxed and going to be taken out of your pay. And bingo, you got it. That's another pay cut. Now, let's call this exactly what it is. Why the delay? Because, listen, the Obama administration and the Democrats are trying to soften this terrible burden that's being put on America. And people are going to be angry and upset about it. Most people. I had a poll on my site, and I said in the poll, you can see it in the lower right-hand corner of the page, do you think your health care is going to be more expensive in 2014? 96% said yes. People are going to hate this law, and they're going to hate paying for other people's health expenses so other people can get a good deal. About 80% of the people are going to be paying for the free stuff and the good deals for the other people. That's what this is going to be. I mean, why would anybody be upset that, we were all lied to about how it was going to be cheaper. We were all lied to about how you can keep your plan and your doctor. We weren't told the full story. And people say, well, the president lied. No, you know what? Let me tell you something. It wasn't just the president. I say the entire Democratic Party got together to lie about this law. I said it. There you go. The entire Democratic Party lied, and they knew it. They didn't just not read it like Nancy Pelosi. You got to pass it to see what's in it, like as if she didn't know what was in it. They all knew what was in it, and what is in it is now surfacing, and it's dreadful and destructive and taking money away from middle-class families. That's what it's doing. There are even Democrats running against Obamacare. There's a congressional Democrat in Florida who's doing negative ads on how he's going to fix Obamacare, and the rollout was terrible, and he got on the president, and in the state I live in here, Kay Hagan, she's toast. Senator Kay Hagan. I've predicted that. I am going to continue to predict she's toast. She's gone. People are upset about this health care thing when we were told this is going to be nirvana. This is going to be better. No. For some people, getting free stuff and illegal aliens, they get free health care. Let's see, I have to prove my citizenship, and I am required to have health care, and illegal aliens don't have to prove they're citizens, and I have to pay for the health care, and the illegal aliens, they have to, what do they have to do? They have to get it for free. It's kind of a semi-quote from Ben Stein. It's a good one. It's a good one. And did I tell you Obamacare I think is totally unconstitutional? I think I said that right at the top. Some Republicans are angry about the Iranian deal to curtail its nuclear program. They say this deal's done in secret. Nobody knows really any details about it. We've gotten more details about the Iranian deal from the Iranians on the public stage. Now, this deal is supposed to, curtail its program, and we're supposed to be negotiating it. According to the Iranians and the things I've heard on the world stage, like in Davos, there's not much negotiating and there's not much curtailing. They're going to continue to enrich uranium. We were told at the beginning of this no, that's going to be curtailed. They're like, no, we're not. That's not going to happen, basically. I mean, the whole deal's been done in secret, and, a congresswoman wants that deal revealed. We need to see it. What are you doing? How are you negotiating? And our allies need to see it. I mean, Israel and Saudi Arabia both are hopping mad over this Iranian nuclear program. They feel threatened by it. Whether that's real or not, but that's what they feel. They feel threatened by it. And last I checked, Saudi Arabia and Israel were our allies and not Iran. And they don't know anything about it. Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, is coming to Washington in early March to, no doubt, talk about, hey, what's this deal? I mean, so in other words, our allies, foreigners, are going to be notified about the deal before our Congress is, before the American people are going to fully get the details about what it is the Obama administration is negotiating. Meanwhile, a top Iranian general is warning about the severe fallout for any country that attacks Iran or any country that allows Iran to allows a country to use their country to attack Iran. Severe fallout. And let me read this from the chief of staff of the armed forces in Iran. He says, "We are ready for the decisive battle with America and the Zionist regime." That regime he's talking about is the Israelis. And he might as well add in the Saudis who, in the last few months bought nuclear weapons from Pakistan. Now, I don't think the Iranians are going to attack anytime soon, but this is their negotiation, which is we're not negotiating. It's also been reported that a U.S. aircraft carrier was removed from the Persian Gulf. What kind of a negotiation is this? And really, what are the details to this deal that the Obama administration is working on with Iran? I think everybody needs to hear what's going on. I think that's a legitimate criticism from the GOP in Congress. The Senate and the House have both passed bills. Of course, John Boehner in the House basically got a ton of Democrats to pass his debt ceiling bill. And it was a tough fight in the Senate, but it went down on party lines. And listen to this now. They suspended, I want to just get this correct here so you fully suck this in. The bill suspends the Treasury's borrowing limit. Let that sink in. We have suspended the borrowing limit. We didn't add another trillion or 2 trillion. We said infinity. You spend all you want. Now Congress, or now the White House, can spend as much money as they want. The bill passed the 2014 election, the time period where it's suspended. And they can spend as much money as they want until after the election or the economy blows up. If the economy doesn't blow up, we'll be at $20 trillion in debt by the end of 2016. I mean, we're at 17.3 now. That's not far-fetched. That's absolutely outrageous. You remember about 2 years back or so, they said, wow, we'll be 20 million by the year 2020, 20 trillion by the year 2020. No, no, we'll be 20 trillion by 2016 if the economy doesn't blow up. I mean, in order for that to work, the rest of the world has to go, oh, yeah, print all the money you want. Go ahead. Yes, you buy oil with printed dollars. It's okay. Yeah, give out free health care. We love that. We don't have it for our people, but yes, it's okay. Give everything away. It's just fine. We love that. And we love your dollar. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to continue to work, right? And I know why John Boehner and I know why the Republicans relented, because they want to get control of the Senate. And as I said, they will get control of the Senate. I'm not a fan of the Republicans because they're just as responsible for the disastrous financial shape the country is in as the Democrats. But at least they have one thing going for them. I've said this repeatedly. They didn't vote for Obamacare. And there's no wonder the government is printing money like crazy because the economy is beginning to roll over again. It's rolling over. I mean, did you see the retail sales numbers down 0.4% in January? And oh, by the way, they revised the December numbers down. And so when I see stories like this in USA Today, cramming repeatedly this recovery story down our throats. Outlook rosy this year after slow start. This is according to economists. Which economist are you talking to? Who are you? What nut job are you talking to that you think the economy is doing better? We have a nice uptick in unemployment this week. And if you did unemployment the way the Bureau of Labor Statistics did it in 1994 earlier, this is according to shadowstats.com, our unemployment rate would be around 23%. And it's been around 22 or 23% since, 2009. We have a labor participation rate that's bouncing around 35-year lows. 92 million people out of the workforce. Oh yeah, but the unemployment rate's going down because people aren't counted anymore. They're not in the workforce, or they're not counted in the workforce. Does that sound like a robust economy to you? And the retail sales numbers. I mean, if we really did have a rosy outlook for the economy, would stores like J.C. Penney's, would they be closing 33 stores? No, that's not growth. That's not growth. Would we have record numbers of people on food stamps? Record numbers of people. Imagine if we didn't have the food stamp program. People say, well, we don't have bread lines or soup lines. Yeah, we don't. We have a food stamp program. Imagine what bread lines and food lines would look like with 50 million people needing food. Every day, every week, every year. Imagine what those lines would look like. Whoo, boy, that would really kill off that recovery story, wouldn't it? But instead, we have food stamps. Now, what do you think happens if that free money runs out, or if the buying power of that free money turns to dirt? Is there any wonder why Division of Homeland Security is buying another 75 million rounds? 75 million rounds. Who do they think is going to invade? Iran? Russia? China? Canada? Mexico? You think, who do they think that, who's that ammunition for? They're just going to take it for target practice? Really? Another 75? That's a billion rounds of ammunition either been bought or ordered. I mean, this is about control, folks. They know this economy is going to, at one point, go poof. Now, either it's going to happen by accident or happen on purpose, but this is unsustainable, and they know it. They absolutely know it. Another sign of a weak global economy, over in Europe, have you seen the stories about the bail-ins? And don't think anything that happens in Europe isn't going to come over to America. They're openly talking about confiscating money, or they like to call it mobilize, savings. Oh, that's a nice word. That's better than confiscation. Mobilize, private savings, for projects and investment and to get the economy going because, their banks are broke. Just like our banks are broke if they had real accounting. That's the other thing. Do you really think we have any kind of recovery when we have phony accounting, 0% interest rates, and, we're down, happy days, we're down to $65 billion a month in Fed money printing. Only $780 billion a year. We had Janet Yellen in front of the Congress giving her first speech. And again, the question I'd love to ask, and wish somebody would ask it, Chairman Yellen, which banks are getting $30 billion every month? Which banks? That's just that portion of the Fed money printing is $360 billion a year. Nobody in Congress wants to know where $360 billion a year this year is going. Last year was $420 billion. This year, $360 billion. And she's talking about tapering. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, good. In legal action, Senator Rand Paul is suing President Obama over the NSA spy program, basically over how they handle telephone records and how they're taking in telephone records. And Rand Paul says he's not against the NSA and he's not against spying. What he is against is no judicial oversight. And you have to admit, there's not much oversight in any of the NSA spy programs, really. I mean, FISA is a kangaroo court. They approve everything. You have to admit there is really no oversight, and that's one really good thing Snowden did give us, and he's paid a lot for it. He basically blew the whistle on this unconstitutional spying that is going on. That's what Rand Paul says. He says, hey, the spying is unconstitutional. And finally, in the last, a little bit of legal news, the government is being sued over the $12 billion J.P. Morgan mortgage deal in which they settled charges of wrongdoing by the government for $13 billion, as I said. The lawsuit that is a nonprofit that's suing, and this lawsuit alleges that the Department of Justice, and I quote, acted as investigator, prosecutor, judge, jury, sentencer, and collector. Again, the Department of Justice acted as investigator, prosecutor, judge, jury, sentencer, and collector. That's right, no judicial oversight, and basically the details of the deal are secret. There's a big fat secret. Another big thing was that not a single top banker was named or charged in when obviously crimes were committed. Crimes were committed according to the government. Nobody named or nobody charged. They couldn't even name the top bankers that they were doing this to. Who suffers? Shareholders suffer. And, of course, the $13 billion fine is a pittance of what is the real damages are from the mortgages and securities and the defaults and the toxic junk that basically J.P. Morgan oversaw. So this is a real interesting lawsuit, and I wish this nonprofit organization luck pulling back the curtain on a very shady government banker deal. That's the way I see it. I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for supporting the site with all your comments. Thank you for using the donations button. Have a nice weekend.